So I recently got a job at this factory. I can honestly say this factory was the worst job anyone could work at. Well, not the worst one, but it's definitely really fucking bad. In the interview process, the lady, her name was Lisa. Her office was like this tiny, it was like a box. It was really small. It could barely fit her desk, and then me and her. No wonder this bitch was crazy, because she was stuck in this tiny fucking box of an office for 8 hours a day. Wait, no, 10 hours a day. That's even worse. And her mouse, like her computer was really old. It was from like 2004. It was an HP, like really old PC. Her old dusty computer, everything in this office was just garbage. Her mouse wasn't working. It would work for maybe 4 or 5 seconds at a time, then it would just stop and like move by itself across the screen. So what she was doing was she was doing this. She was going. And then, like, she said something that completely, like, freaked me out. My husband died in the war, and maybe he's haunting this mouse or some creepy shit like that. And I just, like, I was getting nervous in my chair. I was like, this bitch is fucking crazy. Like, I don't know what to expect. It reminds me of George Lopez when he used to work at that factory. Now I know. But he was Mexican, so he could do it. I can't. They're gonna give me overnight shifts, so I don't have to talk to anybody. I don't have to communicate. I don't have to listen to people breathing down my neck. I can just work while, you know, I have my earplugs in, I have a hair net, a beard net, whatever. I don't even have a beard, but whatever. Orientation was cool. I was like sitting down, they were making me take tests and quizzes like I was in fucking high school. They feel like they have to teach us what I should do if I fall, what I should do if I get cut, clean the area, put a band-aid on. Like, I fucking know that. I'm not 3 years old. They made me sit through an hour-long fucking PowerPoint. I'm not a fucking retard. I'm not gonna walk into a factory that produces needles with shorts on, cause I don't want to get stabbed the fuck up in my calves. Come the first day I go to work, my actual first day, I'm thinking, hey, I'm gonna be trained for maybe an hour or 2 hours. All I have to do is work a machine. How hard could it be? Like, everything was exactly what I thought it would be. I was just standing in front of a machine, working the machine, and whenever the machine would stop, I would have to start it back up, wait for the machine to finish producing these they make moldings for needles, so like, you know, little needle things that you push through. The machine would make the moldings. The machine was making them, and it was shooting through tubes into these buckets. So I would have to take the buckets when they were full, dump them out, then put them back under. So I thought, okay, that's really easy. I can do that. I'm 19 years old. I'm not stupid, right? I was trained. 2 hours in, I was a fucking pro. So that should have told him something. Like, that should tell him something. Why is there an 8-hour training if it only takes like 2 hours, or for most people, less than an hour to learn what to do? I mean, it's really not that hard. So I had an entire 6 hours to stand in front of this machine. I knew what to do. Just when the machine stops, start it back up, pick up the moldings, dump them, put the bucket back, start the machine back up, and do that for 8 hours straight. So I asked them if I could sit down. They say no. I'm completely confused. Everyone in this factory is standing up. You cannot sit down. So I don't understand why. I don't know if they just had a fucking rule against sitting down or something, but these people were literally standing for 8 hours straight. So come my break, I asked the coworker, the guy that was training me. Basically, he wasn't even training me. He was just working, and I had to watch him work. So I asked my supervisor, I have nothing to do. I learned in 2 hours. He let me practice a little, but he was like, this is my shift, so I'm going to work my shift. And I was like, understandable, whatever. Couldn't sit down. I had to stand the entire 8 hours. And then this guy finally says, your break is in 20 minutes. So I'm looking at the clock thinking, okay, 20 minutes, whatever, I can stand for another 20 minutes. So I'm standing. Come time for my break, I ask, hey, can I go on break now? My supervisor goes, no, you can't go on break now. There's nobody to take over the machine that you're working. So I'm like, okay. Just gonna wait for somebody to come take over the machine. 20 minutes pass, 30 minutes pass, an hour passes, 2 hours pass. I'm like, okay, I only have 2 more hours left of my shift, so can I go on my break? And he's like, we still haven't found anybody, just hang tight. Okay. So now I've been standing for 6 hours straight. My feet are fucking swollen, full of blood, ready to fucking fall off at a moment's notice. This guy, keep in mind, like, the factory is completely fucking, it's so loud, you can't hear a thing. Like, you cannot hear anything except for the machine in the background. So while he's training me, on top of the machines being super loud, we have to wear earplugs to protect our hearing. So imagine a guy trying to train you while there's a loud ass machine. There's a loud ass machine running in the back, and you have earplugs in. He was yelling at me, and I was still barely hearing him. A lot of the stuff he was saying was just like, I had to pretend like I knew what he was saying so that like he wouldn't repeat himself, because on top of like not being able to hear him, this guy's breath stunk like ass. So he had to yell in my face for me to hear, and his fucking breath was just intoxicating me. I can see the green fumes coming out of his throat and into my nostrils. I was about to fucking pass out. The earplugs weren't even that good. They would go in your ear, but you would still hear the loud ass machines. And on top of that, he had to fucking scream in my face. Yeah, so what you're gonna do is when the machine stops, you have to press the button and turn it back. Oh my god. Yeah, so I took in like about 40% of the information at first, and it took me like maybe like an hour after that of like doing it myself, so that I can just finally get the hang of it. I remember him asking me like, oh, did you get it? Like, do you think you can do it comfortably now? And even though I knew I couldn't, I was just like, yeah, I can do it, because I didn't want him to talk anymore in my face. So bad. So bad. I was ready to fucking collapse. By the time I got home, I fell asleep and I didn't wake up for like 12 hours after that. That's how you know I was tired. You know how your foot kind of curves? Your foot kind of has that like curvature to it? These people, if they were working here for 30 years and standing the entire time for 8 hours a day, and some of them even work overtime, so like 12 hours a day, fucking foot would have been like that. These people that worked here, they were older people too. They were like in their 50s and 60s. Some of them were even in their 70s working in this factory. So like on lunchtime, like they would go into the break room. I went in there just to like relax a little, I guess. It's like they didn't have anything important in their lives that was going on. Like all they were talking about was what they ate, or like what they put in their food, how they cooked their food, how long they cooked their rice, like how they mashed their beans. I don't know what the fuck. I just really don't know what was driving these people to stay alive. I don't know why they didn't just fucking kill themselves, because they really had nothing going on with their lives besides going to work, going home, and apparently they just cook all fucking day. They were having debates. I think one of them actually got into an argument with another, like this guy got into an argument with this other guy because they were talking about like, how long you should cook like noodles for, or how you should knead dough for noodles or something, and they were literally fucking yelling at each other. Like they weren't actually angry. It was like a friendly competition or something to them, but they were literally just fucking arguing with each other about noodles, and it's like they took it so seriously, and I was standing there listening to them talking about the noodles, and I was just like, why does any of this matter? Fucking factories. I would work in a factory if I didn't have to stand. Honestly, I would deal with the noise and the smell of that guy's breath. As the only thing that killed it for me was that we couldn't sit. That's it.